Scott is known as the Flaxseed Lady. Her life's focus is helping people to improve their lifestyle to achieve better health outcomes. Success stories from her clients encompass nearly every health challenge, age, gender, and nationality. She has been immersed in the natural health industry for over 40 years. She holds a PhD in nutrition and is a certified iridologist, raw foodist, and health coach. Dr. Joy has been recognized by several health and wellness corporations as a top performer for her willingness to share her knowledge and mentor others in natural wellness. Originally from Alabama, she resides in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and is the mother of 2 adult sons. Please help me welcome Dr. Joy Scott.
Today is such a precious time for me and for you. And to follow what we've already been presented. Pastor Phillips, he laid it down, all the spiritual work we have been taught and how we should have received it, how it should have been applied, followed by Dr. Bola. Now, if you didn't get it right, she definitely laid the pathwork for you. And I'd love to say, if you haven't called to get your appointment with her, so that you would know where your life is heading off to. You don't want to get to me third, because I'm going to help you do a little speed dial on it. Okay? I'm going to pull it all together. So, because of circumstances today, I had to be number 3. I was supposed to be number 1. I think God has a sense of humor. So, here I am. I'm just bringing up the rear. Very excited to do it. I'm going to put some practicality in it. We got to roll up our sleeves and get it done. I'm so excited about that. Now, let me tell you why I'm excited about it. Because you should learn something from me. Now, I'm just delivering the word. I'm just a deliverer. Okay? So don't take it personally. Sometimes I tell people, I am like your youngest sister, or I could be like your oldest sister, whichever one you prefer at the moment. I'm just here to bring the word for you. So here I am, out of respect for Pastor Bola, out of respect for God, Jesus, and everyone that matters to you. I want to say, hit the allow button, open your hearts, open your mind. You know what comes before the wisdom is the knowledge. It's the information. And we've been like, we haven't been allowing the information to become a part of our life. And so I'm asking you to allow it. Hit the allow button today. Hit it right now. Thank you. Allow, as we heard from Dr. Abby, allow yourself to be your best, live your best, feel your best. And actually, you know what I've done? I've decided I'm not a human. I am a child of God. And then out of respect for God, he would want you to have your desires, the desires of your heart, if we knew them, right? That's what the problem is. We didn't know. We haven't allowed ourselves to know. So I want to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to just open up how we could live our best life ever. So let's see how we're going to do some of this. Let's see what's going to happen. Giving praise and honor, respect. Pastor Bowler said, we're going to pray that God speaks through you. And I want you to know this is everyday work. It is hard work. When you look at what's going on in the world, it's hard work. The world has suffered. We didn't hit the allow button. The world didn't. And now it has come to the forefront. We almost have to. So I'm going to give you some guidelines how it's all on a practical level. Okay. I'm going to ask you the most important question of the day. And I want you to just be honest with yourself. It's a simple question. You have a chance to answer it every single day. How do you feel? How do you feel? If you could be totally honest with yourself, how would you answer that question? Well, you could say, as most of us say, we do not answer it correctly. Is that true? We didn't think about the hair. We didn't think about those little headaches that you have occasionally. We would say, oh, I feel fine. We didn't think about the back aching or the nails don't grow or the fact that you bite those nails. We didn't think about the things that is not right in your face. Those things that may come occasionally. But I'm here to say to you today that what's beneath the skin of all of that, as a nutritionist, I'm finding out that what plays a big part, the fact that we are made from the dust of the earth, and in that dirt are minerals and nutrients. When you're short on that, then guess what? How you feel is going to be different. And we've got to come to that. That realization is, and I want you to remember this one. I wanted to bring up a bucket of medications that one of my clients gifted me with. It's 11 different meds. I take a chance on driving it around. 11 different medications for high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and PTSD. And so I met him at a food place. And this is what I want you to remember. If the food is correct, there will be no need for medicine. And if the food is not correct, the medicine won't do you any good. So why do I have the bucket of meds? Because they weren't doing him any good. So think about how you feel. How do you feel? Are you taking any medicines right now? You're taking one medication, 2, 3, 4. It could just be one. I get those tough calls. I got the tough call on a early Sunday morning, of course, after the breakfast of the client. She said, I am so disgusted with how I feel. See, if you were to be honest, she said, I have acid reflux. I said, what did you eat for breakfast? Hard-boiled egg, 129 grain bread, and a alkaline coffee. I can't help you with your acid reflux today because the stomach must be acidic when you eat the food, because it's the acid that helps break down the food. And you drank alkaline coffee. And how long did you boil that egg? It was a hard boil, so it boiled at least 10 minutes. You can't break that protein down. So this food, and you shouldn't have protein with starch in the belly together and then douse it down with some alkaline coffee. We've got like 3 things that's like, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, in the stomach together. It's like we've got to come to the table with ourselves and want to know the truth. I said, well, tomorrow morning, I want you to start the day a little different. I want you to start the day by doing something everyone should consider doing every single day and not make it an event. And that's to do a daily detox. Okay. I said, get up first thing in the morning, and I want you to have 16 ounces of warmed up water. And do not warm it in the microwave. She got up, warmed the water in the microwave, and I didn't tell her about the microwave, but she warmed it in the microwave. It got too hot. She started sipping on it. That's not how you do a detox first thing in the morning. You have to take 16 ounces of water, gulp it all down, but it has to be warm, warmer than lukewarm, like some coffee that got a little bit cool. Gulp it down, and it flushes all the waste from the day before. Now, we can think clear. We have energy. That's how you want to start your day. Well, she was eliminating on time. She was eliminating 3 times a day. But that particular day, she's been suffering acid reflux 2 months, cannot get any relief. And that particular day, she had 9 eliminations. Eliminations she didn't know that was there. Wow. Most of us carry around lots and lots of waste. And it's causing havoc in our mind, in our thoughts. It's putting a shield between you and what you were sent here to do. So let me back up a little bit. Who am I a little bit closer? Well, tell you one thing, I'm not so sure. I am happy about it, though. On June 24th, I will be 67 years young, okay? I'm excited about it. And I made a commitment to life for probably about the 6th time. 2 years, 2 months ago, I decided I was going back to being 100%, and I might could cheat every 6 months maybe, to being vegan, plant-based, live, and then I added with an attitude. And why would I do that, being a blood type O who could eat meat but can't eat bread? But it is plant-based, but it's not my food. I could eat meat, but I'm not going to eat it. And why? I want to take a stand for all the people who think they can't take a stand for themselves. I decided I'm going to take the stand. I'm not going to back down. Okay? I'll stand at the gates of hell before I do. Why? To help. You see, some of you would say you feel fine and you are telling the truth. Some of you would say you're not feeling fine and you need help. So the people who have corrected their food, we want to stand for the people who haven't. That's one reason why you're here. We learned that a few minutes ago, right? Dr. Abby said, help others. And that will also help you. So I took the stand of going vegan, plant-based, live with an attitude. What does all that mean? What all that means is I don't eat wheat and none of its cousins. No spelt, no rye, no wheat. I don't eat dairy except I could eat goat cheese if I did because of my blood type, and I could eat mozzarella for my blood type. And there are 4 blood types, A, O, B, AB. You got to know your blood types. But if you want to save your kidneys, then guess what? You've got to give up that wheat. That gluten will congest your kidneys. And kidney failure will be just knocking on the door. And they will be helping you watch the kidney failure start to want to emerge into your life. Or heart disease, for that matter. So it's the wheat, it's the dairy, it's the soy, unless the soy is fermented. What is fermented soy? Miso is one of them. But regular tofu is not fermented soy. So we're just choosing to eat to work with these bodies of Christ. You got to work with your body of Christ. You can't work against it. So we want to say, how do you keep that body of Christ's mind focused on your plans in your life rather than feeling anxious and having anxiety and depression? Well, I know how you could get to feeling like that real fast. You could eat sugar, the worst foods. You could become constipated, not eliminating one for one. You ate one meal today only, you had at least one elimination. But when you ate 2 meals, you should have had 2 eliminations. When you ate 3 meals, you should have had at least 3 eliminations. But that's not the case. Some of you have jobs, you go to work, and you're working with people, and there's always a problem with the girl over in the corner desk. She's always acting as if she's very impacted and full, right? And that's not who you want to be, because you are intentionally, unintentionally causing havoc on your own life. And that's not what we want to do. So when you think about when you came into this world with gifts. Now, so I love to tempt people and have them see their gifts and see maybe what they are not doing that they could be doing. How they are hurting themselves by eating the wrong foods. We put them on a scale so you can see how old you really have become by not eating the correct foods for your body. So we have to learn that these bodies of Christ, instead of these human beings we'll have us over here. Someone brought cake to work, and your best girlfriend has you eating whatever. We are not doing that anymore. You were sent here for a purpose, and when you came, you had your gifts. You had a purpose to be here. And when you got off track because you kept eating the wrong foods, thinking the wrong thoughts, and I loved it when Dr. Abby said, a woman, because women are the ones who birthed us. And the diet of the mother is definitely going to affect the child. And the thoughts of the mother is going to be affected by what she eats. And now, her thoughts are now in the child. We had better get this right. This COVID did not come as we would think how it came. It came to help us to start to look at how we are treating these bodies of Christ that we are so fortunate to have. But we're not acting as if we are children of God, bodies of Christ. Instead, we're acting like little weak humans. And that needs to stop. It's showing so much disrespect for the power, the blessings, the gifts that we could have. We're like, I don't want them now. I don't want to be all I can be. I don't want to think that I could have all the desires of my heart. There is something that holy, healthy, and cleanliness is all the same. So when we don't eat clean, when we eat what a human would eat, when they want to eat it anytime, all the time, you can expect anything. But when you came in your DNA, your RNA, there were gifts. And those gifts are what you want to know. So I'm going to say, you better grab that book. You better have a meeting with yourself. But you know what? You could go in that Bible. It is written what your gifts are. And if you have a little tough time trying to find them, I can help you find them. You want to know. So you could get busy living the life that you were sent here to do. And feeding these bodies of Christ and getting that knowledge and then living the knowledge is the wisdom. That's where the wisdom come in. Now, living it and passing it on. See, a lot of times we would read the word, we could understand the word, we could start living it, and somehow, we forgot to tell the people we know, love, and care about. We've got to start each one teach one. Be your neighbor's keeper. We have to start doing that. And then, it's almost like then and only then, it overwhelms you to be and do all that you can be. So then that's when you go to John 3, and when it says that we should prosper and be in good health, you see, that's how it comes when you are willing to learn the knowledge, live the knowledge, and pass it on. And yes, you will prosper. But not to allow it. Okay, let's get a little closer to that. Now let's ask yourself again, how do I feel? How do I feel? Okay? Let's go to a little example. What are the choices, how you feel? You've got healthy. I feel rich. Oh, no. At the bottom of it, you could feel sick, and you can be broke. As humans, we could have any of those choices. What choice would you choose? Healthy and rich? Or would you rather be sick and broke? And we definitely don't want to talk about being broke if you don't want to be broke. You don't want to talk about being sick if you don't want to be sick. But if you listen to people's conversation now, remember the word, it said you shall have the desires of your heart. You talk about being broke, you talk about being sick, and you're not caring about the food that you eat. And the food that you eat is creating inside of you that energy. Well, some people get combinations of how they feel. They are feeling healthy, but they are feeling a little broke. Or they feeling a little richy, they've got money, but they're feeling a little sick. They got a little pain. And like we said, you definitely wouldn't want to be sick and broke, but you would want to have money and be in health. You want to live out that scripture, John 3, chapter 1, verse 2. You want to be able to feel that. Is that true? You buy the best food for the child of God that you are. You wouldn't go to the store and you see apples and you just grab apples. You just wanted some apples, right? No, you wanted apples without man putting so many chemicals in the apples. Because, yes, that immune system is going to come crumbling down. All the chemicals suppress your immune system. All the heavy metals suppress your immune system. And we've got lots and lots of chemicals, metals, toxins in our food, in our environment that is suppressing our immune system, and we're not giving it much thought. That could be a reason why you're not living your full potential. But certainly it could. So I want to get a little closer here. Okay. Let's see. How can we get closer to achieving your goals with eating healthier? These bodies of Christ, they are designed to be a certain pH. There's over 70 trillion cells in your body. When you eat, you should think about them, shouldn't you? What are you eating, and why are you eating what you're eating? You think, if I need hair, I may want to think about eating some horsetail herb. Okay. You may want to think about having some rosemary and sage as teas, and you drink it every day. And then the little hair is like, whoa, it's loving it. Wow. you might want to think about having some hawthorn herb tea instead of coffee now. See, we could have drank coffee. Teas full of caffeine excite your heart. Instead, eat for the heart, eat for the brain, eat for hair, eat for beautiful skin, eat for your pancreas. Who wants to be a diabetic? So you want to bring in that Ceylon cinnamon. You want to bring in some chromium, a healthy mineral, to make your pancreas satisfied. If you don't want to be a diabetic, you want to eat raw foods. Oh, my goodness. Yes, God. That's how you show respect and love and honor for these bodies of Christ so you could go do your work. If God wanted to send you to do a job, you said, pick me, God, I'll go do it. It didn't matter how old you were, how young you were, but how do you feel? So yeah, we are exercising. And let me scoop one in. Since we are so busy, right? We don't have time to go to the track. We just didn't have time to exercise. What is the best little form of exercise that could get the biggest, most wonderful results out of 10 minutes? So, you see that email, I can't wait to text you. Not text, I could text it to you, but email you a whole course that could exercise every part of your body, including your eyeballs and your brain, could help you to see again. You see, there's never a job with these bodies of Christ that God couldn't fix. You just didn't know. That's where that information and knowledge come in, and then you're going to start living it. What do I want to tell you about? There's this exercise called rebounding or trampoline bouncing, and it catches all those trillion cells, like we said, your brain, your eyeballs. You can now see again. Oh, my goodness. Bouncing on that rebounder, that little mini trampoline. They even put a bar on it. You just hold and bounce. It is amazing, people. Take back your health. Now, it's mental health. You want to be mentally calm, instead of stressed out. Then what food groups are you going to eat? The sunshine groups. The ones we can see and the ones we can't see. Those green vegetables and the fresh raw fruits. And the more uncooked is the better. The more living foods, it's like putting money in the bank. You know, we bank our monies, but these bodies, you have to bank enzymes. And when you run out of enzyme, you've bankrupt the whole body. And enzymes are coming from living food. That's raw food. You don't want to take a living body and forever putting what into it? Dead food. And sometimes we guarantee that the food is dead because we put it in the microwave. And we make sure we radiate it. And so it couldn't work for us. And we couldn't turn the microwave off because it's the new clock. But the radiation is going to affect your nervous system, and the brain is a big nerve. We've got to start reading. We've got to start finding that education, getting that knowledge, putting it into practice, which means it's going to become wisdom for you, and it's really going to become wisdom when you do what? Share it. And God looks at you and he smiles. He said, my child is living her best life now. And now ask yourself how you feel. Well, let's get a little closer. Pretty soon, you're going to say, I feel great. I am honoring this body of Christ. Okay? I learned one thing already. What was that? First thing you do every morning, you get up and drink that 16 ounces of warmed up water. And it's getting ready to do your first thing of the day, which is a body detox. Now, you could call it a total body detox, but the person that know that they're clean, cleanliness and holiness are all the same. If you got up, left the house at 10, and there were no eliminations, I wouldn't want to meet you down at the grocery. Your reaction may not be nice. Okay? So we want to know. That's how you know you're cleaning that body. Okay. So we think about cleaning the outside. Now, I want to go for a quick little outside. You know, Atlanta is big, Atlanta, Georgia. But around the world, here is the secret outside detox. Let's put one in here. This is a good little secret because we love for the skin to feel good. And the skin is your largest eliminative organ of all. How do we do it? So let me tell you real quick. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you can get some more of this good practices. So people right now, they go spend tons of money and lots of time at these spas. Let me give you one. So a friend of mine 30 years ago went to a sanitarium where they help you heal. He went there 30 years ago and healed himself. They helped his body to heal, that body of Christ that could heal itself from prostate cancer 30 years ago. So I thought, well, let me go down because I had another client who went there and it wasn't so fortunate. So you still got to know for yourself what to eat, what not to eat. And I'm going to say gluten is a not to eat food, which is your wheat products. Okay, so you know what he did? 6 out of 7 days for 30 days, they did a fever bath. So this is how you can cause yourself to have one of those $100 spa days in your home for pennies. You go pull you a wonderful bath. You pull yourself a fever bath. What is a fever bath? I thought fevers were not good. You're getting ready to start sweating, and you're going to sweat out all the toxins. If you ask a person if you're how you feel, the one thing you're going to tell me, I don't wear deodorant. Oh, yeah, you should feel pretty good then because guess what? The toxins are not in your body. They are coming out. They're outside of your body, okay? So a fever bath would help you to sweat out all the toxins and poison that eventually going to wreak havoc on these bodies, right? So every day, 6 out of 7 days for 30 days, they put him in this fever bath, and he couldn't get out. They could put ice on his forehead, and I think they make you stay there for like 20, 30 minutes, and then they, maybe cool you down and throw you in the bed, and you sweat your insides out. Okay, you could do this at home. Pull that tub of hot water, and you put your body in there for 15 good minutes. Guess what? Now, what you're going to do next is so important. There is a salt scrub. You could get just this pink Himalayan salt, and what would you put in it? There is a soap that will pull out, and I would have put the soap in the fever bath. You put a little bit of this miracle soap with all the minerals and oils in it in the salt with some oils that helps your heart called grapeseed oil, and now it's wet salt, and start scrubbing your body. Not in the water. You're out of the water. You did your fever bath. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Scrub, scrub everywhere, everywhere. Scrub as much as you want to scrub. And then just rinse off. Now, what did you just cause yourself to do? To detox your body for that $100. The soap that was in your tub, this miracle soap, it's a green soap. It causes all the toxins to pull it out, and then it pushes all the minerals into your body. And now you scrub all the dead skin. You know why people say they're ashy? Because it's dead skin cells stacked on top of dead skin cells, and it feels rough, dry, ashy. It's horrible. You do a salt scrub, it's shiny. You have to put sunglasses on to look at your shiny, beautiful new skin. And you could do it yourself. You'll say, hey, feel me. I feel wonderful. You have to help these bodies of Christ out. But if you don't allow yourself to learn information, then guess what? You're over here trying to stand in line at these spas, and you don't have time to go. Remember, we don't have time. But you can take time every morning to drink that little warm 16 ounces of water, and you can take time once a week to do a fever bath at least. There's no need for you to have waste stay in your body. And then you say, oh, I think I feel a lump. Oh, of course you do. You didn't have your morning eliminations. You ate 3 meals and only eliminated 1 every day. You didn't eat raw living foods. And when we're talking about raw living foods, let's look at foods you should put in your diet every single day that should cause you not to have that numbness in your feet or toe or pain in your legs. What are some of these things, okay, that a kitchen just isn't a kitchen without them? If you don't have these, you're not eating in that kitchen. The kitchen is really the pharmacy. And if you're not eating in your kitchen, it's like call those restaurants up where you're eating and look at the new doctor would say, let me see the menu for that restaurant. Oh, okay, so I see you should have maybe some cholesterol problems and hypertension based on where you've been eating. You got me now. So you're not trying to keep the restaurant in business, are you? You see, that's being a human. We're trying to get you to be a child of God and be respectful because you're bigger than you are presenting yourself to be right now. You're bigger than that. You've got to get to know why you were sent here, why you chose to come. And you didn't come without your gifts. But somehow they didn't get transferred. You didn't even know that you had gifts. You've got gifts. So we're excited about that. Okay? Sometimes I get a little carried away on these gifts. Because if you don't know what your gifts are, it just slows life down. And you don't want to be slowed down. So let's go back to that kitchen. What's in this kitchen now that makes your kitchen a true pharmacy? And whether you have pots, I've got pots outside of my front door with sage. Oh, yeah, sage should be good. It made it to the Bible. It's right there. It oxygenates up your brain so you can think, you can remember. They say where there's enough oxygen, cancer can't live. So I got a fresh sage bush. I actually have 3 beautiful sage plants. I do a weekly Zoom cooking show, so I always bring one on the set. I got sage, I got oregano, and I got thyme. It's going to be right there. Because at the end of some of these recipes, what am I going to do? I'm just going to pick some and chop it up and throw it on top of the dish. I've got living foods now, okay? Now, but outside of my door, I've got sage, I got rosemary. Oh, what else do I have? You could put, oh, you got to have cilantro to pull those heavy metals and chemicals out of your body, okay? And so basil, I got some pretty basil. I was a little tricky. Now, I'm telling you to share, share, share. But I decided this year I'm not getting that big, pretty basil this year and put it out. Because last year I had people say, oh, break. And they're hauling my basil home with them. I thought, I'm going to fix them this year. I'm going to get purple basil. And then they got this new little basil. They got the tiniest little pretty leaves ever. Because basil will make sure it's helping you preserve your life. You see, we use Google on our phones to Google so many things, but we're not Googling life itself. You didn't read the owner's manual to your health, and you're not even trying to read it. And then when some people tell you some of this information, I haven't heard that before. I don't know about that. I'm going to go to my doctor. Oh, yes, Dr. Abby would tell you. But Dr. Abby weren't there when you chose what you were going to eat for the evening, knowing that it didn't carry the nutrients that your body needed. And you are there with your body making wrong choices. Okay, so let me throw this in real quick now. So what has to happen is this. If you are going to continue to eat meat, you can never eat it with starch. Okay. And if you're going to eat starch, you cannot eat it with protein, meat. So you eat meat with vegetables, you eat starch with vegetables. Okay? That's how you eat. You never drink with the food because it needs all those acids pumped in from the pancreas to break the food down. Remember, if you're having a digestive issue, you're having a problem with digestion, you better clean it up. Because the food eventually is going to have to turn to blood to feed every cell, all those 70 trillion cells. So you want digestion to be easy. And the best way for it to be easy is to always eat something raw at every meal and never drink with the meal. Wait 45 minutes about before you start dousing on those stomach acids that was there to break the food down. Put at least 3 hours between a starch veggie meal. Put 4 hours at least between a meat vegetable meal. Okay? And always eat that raw something. Now, let me tell you what'll help digest your food. Black peppercorns. Ground black pepper is never in the kitchen. You get those black ground peppercorns, and remember you were at the fine dining restaurant and they asked you, tell us when. The when is when you grind some of that black pepper on your food, and it starts to help the food to digest. Any raw foods on that plate start to help the food digest. That little parsley sprig weren't on your plate for decoration. It's raw living to help your food to digest. Okay? And so you want to start to eat raw living foods every time you eat. Don't drink with your food. And be very much aware of how many eliminations you're having compared to how many meals you're eating. That is a have to. Okay? Okay. Now, so let me say this. I said about that exercise, the rebounder, I do want you to know, if you email me, you should have that information. You're going to get a whole coursework of the rebounding exercises that could totally detox your whole lymphatic system, and now you didn't have to worry about breast cancer. You know, that's a big one. Regular lipstick could cause breast cancer, but not cleansing your lymphatic system definitely can cause breast cancer. Okay? Now, so I'm thinking that I'm getting close to some of my time being up, and I want to make sure that we get some last points in. So let me just say this. What does autoimmune system diseases have in common? You know, some of the research is coming back to us now saying that the COVID vaccine, one of the side effects could be autoimmune diseases. That's what one doctor has shared with us. And so how do you protect yourself from autoimmune diseases, okay? This is what happens. You always eat more alkaline foods. That's your fruits and vegetables. You're not eating more of that meat, bread, sweets, caffeine. And caffeine always excites your heart, okay? And you don't want to get too excited and catch you a heart attack or a stroke. All right. So, I want to just make sure that usually whenever I come to this podium, I usually talk very fast. And I usually start without any introduction because you know what? There's so much good information you got to have. But let me tell you the foods. Garlic, cayenne pepper. These are must-haves in your kitchen. I don't care who you are. You've got to have them in that kitchen. If you got pain, go grab both of them. It causes circulation and circulation. And it's going to lower your blood pressure. You weren't short on blood pressure medication. You just congested up your body and you didn't move the waste out. So remember, the best way to get the waste out is to make sure, mix the right foods together. Don't drink with your food. Eat the foods for your blood type. If you don't have your blood type book, I got one for you. And if you don't know your blood type, I got you. Okay? Because you have to know. If you don't know your blood type, it's like, how do you know what to eat? It could congest your blood, causes it to thicken, cause a blood clot, go to your brain, heart, or lungs, and there you go. That's called a stroke. So we said, what does every autoimmune problem have in common, like lupus, sarcoidosis, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma? They all have in common an acid pH that you maintain in your body. That means you've been eating too much meat, bread, sweets, caffeine. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead right now, and I'm going to stop here because guess what? We have a panel coming up, and we could handle some more of this information right there. But I think what I spent a little bit too much time on is about those gifts. And you want to know about those gifts because it could cause you stress of your life because life just isn't going right. I want to do this, but this keeps happening. And you know what? We could get to that. And we can get to your food for your blood type. So I look forward to talking more with you before we leave here today. I'm excited. This is my gift. My gift is I'm a missionary. And it has worked. When I found out I was a missionary, guess what? I wasn't happy, but it's what I do every day. And thank you.